Man, what's going on, man? Status Jules in the building, man. It's your favorite podcast. Get your status up podcast. We got some of your favorite celebrities on this podcast. I got today Hurricane Chris with us, man. It's your favorite Julia, Donna Julia.
What's poppin'? And you already know it's your boy Z. You about to have some fun out here, man. Like an ocean is gonna be a problem.
You know we popping shit today, man. You know what I'm saying? Got some of the greatest up here, man.
For sure.
I'm
gonna come straight to the point, man. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, bro? What's up with the name? What's up with the name Hurricane Chris? Where does that come from?
I got the name Hurricane when I was young. I used to rap real fast. Like some of my favorite rappers was people like Twista and Bone Thug. So they just named me that because I rap fast. That's all.
And Chris is
my real name.
your real name.
It's my daddy's name. It's my son's name.
Okay.
That's the name.
The name. That's what's
the
up.
name of the game.
So you come from Louisiana, right?
Yeah, Shreveport.
That's what's up. So how was it like? How was it like growing up in Louisiana?
I love Louisiana. Man, there's no place like home. No place like home. A lot of good food.
Yes, I heard about that too.
Good Cajun food.
Sure.
Yeah,
Cajun
for sure.
food, you know what I'm
1,000,000%.
saying? For sure.
Crawfish,
For sure.
gumbo, that type of food.
So how's the love like? Is like, do you get mad love out there more than any other state? Do you feel that way or not?
Oh yeah, my city, they always supported me. I would have never blew up if it wasn't for Shreveport.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they love me there.
That's what's up. You know, me, I'm here in Atlanta. Dawn is here in Atlanta. So what's up?
Atlanta helped me too though. I say like Atlanta and Shreveport is like the main two cities that really blew me up. We got a DJ out here that King Arthur. He just started going crazy with my record, and Atlanta was one of the first cities as
Like
well.
since back then, you were saying.
Yeah. I've been rocking with Atlanta for a long time.
So you've been coming back and forth since back then.
Yeah. I always been here ever since I
you
popped.
live here too? Do you have a spot here too?
Yeah, I got a spot here. I got a house here.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah, I
up.
bought a house here.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I like the A. I'm in the A to play.
Yeah,
in the A.
sure,
Let's
man.
play.
Yeah, Atlanta is the new Hollywood.
Yeah, Atlanta's
Yeah,
new Black Hollywood.
Black
You know what I'm saying?
Hollywood.
Yeah, everybody come out here popping shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, also the movies. I heard like a lot of the
It's a lot of dope movies. There's a lot of production going. You know, you got Tyler Perry Studios out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tyler Perry got to put me in something.
His shit, one of the biggest studios, right?
I think it is. I think it is. I mean, I know he need to put me in something. He need to put us in something.
Let the man know. Let the man know right now. You know what I'm saying?
We got ideas, Tyler Perry.
Facts. So, like, when you were a kid, like, how was it, blowing up? Because I know you blew up as a kid, as
That's
a young kid.
crazy
You know what I'm
too,
saying?
though. Like at a very
Been
young age.
in the game for a minute.
At
So
an
how
early
was that coming up?
I ain't really feel it like that though. I mean, I've been rapping since I was so young,
How long though? Like
probably since I was 12.
Yeah.
So it's been a constant thing. Like I always wanted to make it. So when I made it, it wasn't like a big shock. I was actually exhausted from trying to make it. I was so tired I was happy I reached the finish line type.
So from 12, so the at the age of 16, if I'm not wrong, right? At the age of 16,
Yeah, that's
it was
what.
like the biggest hit was at the age of 16.
Yeah.
So from 12 to 16, you went through the phase of I'm constantly rapping, I'm constantly in the mix.
I was getting money though.
You was getting
Yeah, I was
money
already getting money.
through rapping, through music.
I was at high school, 8th grade. I was at high school, 9th grade with 10 G's in my pocket. You know, like before anybody knew who I was, pulling it out, throwing it on the floor, like making. Nobody seen that much money in high school.
Nah, for sure.
I mean, we was doing 3-4 shows a week. I wasn't getting nothing but probably anywhere from $700 to $1,000, but I'm doing 3-4 shows a week. I don't gotta pay no rent. I'm a kid, you know. I'm just stacking all this up.
Fact.
They working the dog, you know. They working me for real. Like I had some cats that kept me booked up.
Were you
Shout out to
signed?
3 Feet. No, I wasn't signed. I just had a homeboy named 3 Feet, and he just worked hard to keep me booked up, and we was on the road as much as we wanted to be on the road. Like since I first started rapping.
So that would be your day one. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
that's my dog. That's
So
my
even
dog.
now, like he's
Yeah,
with you throughout.
yeah, that's my dog.
Okay.
Even if it ain't business, like
From nothing to everything.
yeah. If he call me whatever it is he need, I'm coming. You know, whatever.
For
sure.
We ain't been just doing a lot of business, but that's one person that he know he can always call on me, and I don't care. Like I'm coming through, and I'm gonna give my last to make sure he's straight.
Mashallah, that's amazing. That's how me and Dawn is. Dawn's my day one. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that means a lot. Like you go through with the same people that seen how you move, and they believe in you from the day one. That from means day one. Everything.
I was a kid, and he was picking me up from my house every day, riding me around. You got to think.
So he older than you.
I'm 16. Okay. They was in like 27. Yeah. So they dropping me off at home, smelling like weed. My mama going crazy. She thinking I'm smoking weed. I ain't never taste weed before. I'm like, nah, I'm just hanging with these dudes.
Nah, for sure.
But he had a plan, and we stuck to it.
So your mom was trying to make sure that.
Oh yeah, she wasn't playing the radio.
Yeah,
she wasn't playing at all.
So like being 16 at the age with one of the top songs, I think it was top 10, top
7, I believe. Weren't
it was like I think it was top 10 on a 100 billboards. Like how was that? You know what I'm saying? Just having that type of placement. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
that's big. That's huge.
As a kid, because think about it, 16 had one of the hottest songs in America. You know, that song was playing everywhere.
But the key word you're saying is as a kid.
As a kid.
None of this don't matter to a kid. Yeah. You ain't looking at numbers or none of that. Like,
nah, for sure.
Like, can I buy this car? I can buy it. Cool. I bet.
Just picking whatever I want. I'm just walking around. let me buy this. Let me get this. Let me get that. Did you go through that phase too? Like just shopping around constantly.
I found myself going crazy and doing stuff I said I'd never do.
So that was after 16. That was when.
That was after A-Bay really just came into full play.
So like from that transition, I know like you just said as a kid into now. So it's like how was like finances? Like how did you handle that from knowing what you know now and then being 16?
Different? Something different to.
I think if you ask anybody who got money at 16, would they do something different now at the age they are now at 30 to 32 to 33? It's like, yeah, you'll do a lot different. Wouldn't you do a lot different from when you were 16?
Not for sure.
It's a no-brainer.
But you enjoyed the time while you.
Oh yeah.
There's no regret though.
No, hell no. I mean, every lesson I learned. I mean, even if I lost money, I just look at it like I paid for the lesson.
Facts. That's exactly how you got to take things. You know?
Say that again.
Some lessons are bought. You got to pay for some lessons.
Pay for some lessons. You know, it comes with the cost. Yeah. Cost to be a boss. You know.
Cost to be a boss for sure, man.
For sure. So look, I've heard like folks when you get that type of success at a very early age, you know, there are a lot of haters out. You know, and then also of course there are people with different opinion. You know, and. Like, what about like folks talking about things like, you know, you're not that street, you know, you're not from the street, you know, or like how do you feel about that?
I mean, I wanted to do music since like 12 years old, so I was always just like more focused on you saying I was your favorite artist. Like, my trophy is different than the average cat trophy. I come from the slums, but my goal wasn't to stay in the slums. My goal was to be able to drive them Lamborghinis and Ferraris. You know, so the only people I care about opinion is the people at business tables that's finna cut a check. You look stupid listening to opinions of people that ain't gonna put $1 in your pocket or give your kids nothing if you ain't here.
Facts. Facts. You know? But you went through those comments a lot though, no?
I mean, I ain't never really heard nobody say, you know, nothing against my upbringing because that was pretty much facts. Where I come from is a pretty much real place, and I went and shot my video on the same block that I was raised on, and you know, so it wasn't really no misconception of where I was from and what roots I came from.
So like while growing up, you always had like your family with you, like especially like your mom's, because you know, of course, mom's she's already well known already out there. So how was that like? How was like what kind of impact like that? You think that was one of the reasons why you started that early, focusing on music, focusing on making something out of yourself? You think your mom was one of the biggest role?
Yeah, see, my mom and daddy was hustlers, and my mama's whole energy was, I'm tired of working for people. I gotta figure something out, and I watched that. I watched her really stress with not wanting to work for people and wanting to be creative and have some of her own. And it just motivated me. And when I was probably 10 years old. We was short on our rent. And I told her, if you buy me studio equipment, I'm going to make sure you ain't never got to worry about rent again.
Wow, mashallah, man.
Guess what she did? She took the money from the rent and went and bought the studio equipment. Guess what I did?
Flipped it. That's history.
It came back 100 times. You heard me? Sure. So, like, if it wasn't for her betting the house on me, none of this would have never happened.
Mashallah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when it come to my mama, she motivated me to really want to get out there and get a bag and put her in a better position. A lot of cats get money and go buy a bust down with their first check. That's what you see these cats doing right now. They getting money and they going to buy the stuff they want to buy. Show me somebody who bought their mama a house before they bought themselves anything. That's what I did. Yeah, I cashed out on my mama an Escalade and a house before I bought myself anything. $500,000 house, $75,000 on the Escalade. It's back in 20, whatever, when I'm 2007, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I see cats moving with their money in real goofy ways. I tried to make sure that if everything failed, you know, that my family had a roof over their head. And everybody in my family who needed somewhere to stay with me. You know, I got cousins who, their mother was killed from some cats who was running down the street trying to steal a car, shot her through the window and killed her. Like, to move her whole family in the house with me at a young age. Other cousins, it's just something I was always taught to, you know, take care of my people. So when it come to getting a bag, I don't take that as a joke.
It's a blessing, and you feel like that this blessing's supposed to spread out.
Yeah.
And if you're in a position where you can, you definitely was standing for folks to be there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Straight up.
That's respect, bro. That's respect for sure. Don, so what's up, man?
Man, I'm just listening. It's crazy because, you know, I come from the same background, so I can kind of relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just bringing in your whole family and just taking care of them and holding it down. It's more of having morals, I'll say, morals and principles, because a lot of cats, they ain't doing it right. You know what I'm saying? You got to know where you came from to know where you're going. So that's something that I live by. You feel me? So it's just interesting.
Straight up. We know you're going to take care of your kids, but what you going to do when you see the next man struggling to take care of his kids? You going to pitch in and help? Or, you know, you're going to just sit there in your nest and make sure your people straight? It's bigger than your roof. It's bigger than the people under your roof, you know.
Sure.
I got to stay away from people because I got to have it of helping somebody if I see they in a messed up position. You'll go broke like that.
For sure. So let's get into it. Like, you know, with the sample, you know, there was a chick, I think her name was like Kia. She had made a sample over the A Baby song. You know what I'm saying? Everybody never got to even hear your side of the story about it. So, like, how you feel about her even commenting on it and feeling like, you know, you being the originator of it, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel about her, like, taking the sample and just making them type of comments?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I guess that's the era we live in. You know, the word goofy is a word you really need to pay attention to. Because when I say goofy, I mean the character from Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Just do dumb stuff with no reasoning behind nothing you saying. You just goofy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody know the deal with that. You feel me?
Fact.
It's like,
Because it's like me making a chain right now, right? It says status all over it, and then somebody double back and then putting like an extra big S on it and being like, oh.
and they saying it's they chain now.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
So when they come to your store and see it, they got something to say to you.
Facts.
They're like, nah, you stole.
Crazy.
They telling you stole their chain.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
crazy.
that's basically like you coming in my yard, getting my bike, riding it down the street, putting trick pegs, the mongoose caps on the rims, reflectors on it, and then I see my bike and I walk it back to my house.
Because
What
like
you gonna come tell me?
nowadays I see like a lot of
What you
samples
gonna
out.
say?
How does that work in the music industry? Can they do that? Like,
I mean, normally business is taken care of. Normally business is taken care of. Kanye West not just sampling people music. DJ Khaled is not just sampling people music. he contacting them and doing business.
So there was no sort of contact before, you were saying?
Man, no. Ain't nobody contact me about nothing. They took my A-Baby and put it on they whatever kind of Jersey mix they said it was, and they called it the Jersey mix. Picture that. Picture that. Now you watch, you watch American Gangster. Well, what Frank Lucas told dude, you just took my dope and resold it.
Yeah.
Like, how that work? Like,
Now, that's my brand.
that's my brand.
That's my brand.
That's a brand name.
That's a brand name. And I stand behind
I stand behind that.
Stand behind that for sure.
If you want to take this, you take it just like it is, and you let them know what it is. But you don't take this and call it something else.
Yeah.
But now that we're talking about that, like that definitely had a boost on it, though. You know, like the fact that it did what it did.
Yeah.
It did made a lot of noise around. It did bring a lot of. What you think about that?
What do you think about if I steal your car and bring it back and it look better than it looked before?
Nah, for sure.
Do you care that it look better? Like, thank you. Appreciate it for the 4G out of
For sure.
If I do it, you do a police report, they ain't letting me get my rims back that I put on your car that I stole.
Nah, for sure.
You keeping everything.
The key, I feel like the key is
That's what happened for stealing, bro. You shouldn't have been stealing.
Yeah.
It didn't work in your favor.
and not even contacting the original for the person
Never.
for it. This is crazy.
Look, when they
So
did,
you
the
think-
credits to it, they shouted out everybody except me.
Wow.
On their little TikTok,
Yeah.
they shouted out everybody except me.
So do you feel like that's just because of bad business, or do you feel like that's because they just was
That's because
negligent? and they
Mickey
didn't know?
Mouse, homeboy, name is Goofy, and a lot of people moving goofy.
Yeah.
Goofy. I grew up with people around me showing me, this is mine, that's yours. Touch something that's mine, I'm gonna pop your hand. That's what I grew up around with. Like, you know, not in a negative way, but just to let you know, hey, that's mine. That's just ethics, bro.
Facts.
Oh, the other thing I heard too, right? The other thing I heard was like your relationship with Boosie. How do you, first of all, how's your relationship with Boosie?
That's my dog.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I've been knowing him since like 2006.
That's what's up. Shout out to Boosie.
2000.
You know?
Nah, before 2006. Matter of fact, that's the first rapper I think I got a feature from, him and Webby.
Yeah.
That was in like 2005, 2004.
Yeah.
So I've been knowing him since way
That's
back
definitely
then.
one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Yeah.
Boosie.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah,
Shout out
that's my
Boosie.
dog. That's
Good
my
people,
dog,
good
my
energy.
dog.
But
Solid.
we also heard something around the frame that he had a big role in like getting you bonded out of the jail, paying a lot of money to get you out of the jail. How true is that?
Nah, if I would've called him, he would've came with the bag.
That relationship was that strong.
Yeah.
But
If
was
I
that
would-
the case though?
Nah, it wasn't the case, but I know for sure if I wouldn't even had to call him. If I would've sat in there for too long, he
You
would've
would've did
came,
that.
Like, yeah,
That's
he-
100.
Relationship was
Yeah,
100.
that's just
Sure.
in the same, like, you know, if I got a bag put up and my partner in that situation, or anybody that I done dealt with and I feel like they solid and I can afford to help, I would do the same thing. So I'm pretty much the only type of cash I rock with. I might not talk to you for 6 months, but if we know we got that bond,
I'm
you
there
know
for
it.
you. I'm standing for
I
you.
might not talk to you for 2 years, bro, but I'm gonna come see about the problem if it's a problem.
That's real. That's 100% real.
Yeah. I care about your well-being, not being in your face all day. You know, that's the type of cats we here. So
That's 100.
That's 100.
So like back on the music, like how you feel about Joe Budden? You know he was popping.
ain't Joe
and
Budden
shit.
a sucker.
He was
Joe
saying,
Budden a sucker.
He was saying something like you ain't made music in 10 years.
Joe Budden a sucker.
Yeah.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
He a sucker. Cause you sit up and you talk crazy. Who ain't made music in 10 years? You better go check my YouTube. Like, if you ain't a fan, then that's you. I can't. Like, do you.
So you saying like you been like ever since 16, of course since 12, but after the 16, the first crazy hit. Since then you was constantly on the music.
Man,
Were
yeah,
were
you gotta think. I ain't just dropped one hit. I dropped Hey Baby, came back with Hand Clap, came back with
Y'all remember Hand Clap?
Yeah, then I came back with Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Then I
Halle
sold Mike
Berry.
Jones.
Yeah.
Drop and give me 50, like
Dropping it,
I ain't
yeah.
never stopping. Ghostwriting and like I just don't understand a cat who don't understand what happened in my situation. Like, you gotta just want to run your mouth, you know. And don't nobody listen to Joe Budden. I ain't never heard one Joe Budden song. We ain't jamming no Joe Budden in the South. We ain't never heard no Joe Budden where I'm from. I couldn't tell you nothing he rapped about that nobody in the South care about. What it was, I can't name a Joe Budden song. Period. He could name mine. He was just on a podcast talking about me, wasn't he? Bet. So I guess I'm hotter than Joe Budden. I don't nobody want to hear no Joe Budden music, man. Get out of here.
Nah, for sure.
You can't interview me. You can't. I don't want to be on every show. I'm here because
sure.
they told me y'all was cool people. I don't care nothing. Man, look. I know what to do with some money. You heard me? I got 18-wheeler companies. I've been deep into a lot of different industries, real estate. Right now, I'm looking at buying a house for $500,000 and flipping it for anywhere from $600 to $650. Like, I don't care nothing about nobody who think I gotta dance to their music. I dance to my own music, man. I've been a boss since I was 16, and I sit there in a room full of money by myself before I play by anybody's rules and feel like a sucker.
Nah, you've seen that, you've been there, you've done that already. That type of stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna get money regardless. So anybody who say something crazy to me, expect me to say something crazy back to you, sucker.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta stand on your own as a man. You feel me?
You gotta stand for yourself, 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. So now that you're talking about that, so apart from music, you are investing, you are getting into different businesses too. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, man. If it make money, it makes sense. I ain't most rappers understand how to make money out of rap. What I realize is you don't really hear too many rappers talking about investments they making. Like, you don't hear these cats talking about apartment complexes they trying to buy and stuff of that nature. It's like all you seeing is Maybachs. Mm-hmm. So I'm really here to leave my family something. Your kids can't rap. What you gonna leave them? What a business is that you gonna leave for your family? Your kids might not rap as good as you rap. So I'm more focused on, building a real structure around us so we can weather any storm. If we fall and break our knees, the money gonna keep rolling.
Nah, for sure.
We ain't slaves to nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be slaves.
For sure.
But we gonna get money.
So it's like the difference between being rich and being wealthy. You on the wealthy scale where you're investing, you're making sure that money keeps growing, because that's what real estate does, right? Like, you invest. Yeah. Even now, the property rates are crazy.
Yeah,
even
crazy.
now it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Interest rate is crazy. Everything is crazy.
I moved. I bought a house in a certain neighborhood, probably like 4 months ago, and this neighborhood jumped up $100,000 since then.
So you recently invested in the cannabis industry too, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like how's that growing? How's that going?
That was a real experience, and it was actually something that helped me learn how to manage money better as well. I got a company called Monkey Farms that I'm in the middle of putting together right now.
So that's a whole strain, like that's your personal strain?
It's gonna be strains, it's gonna be a grow, and I might do another dispensary, but right now I'm looking more into the cultivation part. The dispensary was cool, but right now I don't got a lot of time to oversee stuff that's tedious, so I need to do stuff on a massive level to where
like wholesale.
Yeah, like
dispensary you consider it as a retail.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about let me just wholesale to these dispensaries.
Yeah, and let them stand in the shop all day. And
so you for the legalizing marijuana?
Oh yeah, my daddy did like 5 years for weed.
That's crazy.
So what I'm wondering is like after this stuff is totally legalized, like what do they do for these people?
Yeah, that's a great question. I always wonder the same thing. It's crazy how you can go from one state and smoke. You can smoke right in front of the police, and then go to another state, and then your ass going to jail.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's
or go
crazy.
from one county and you get a ticket
It's all
to
a
another
joke,
county,
bro.
you going to jail.
There's no way you're a criminal here, but you're not a criminal over there.
That don't make sense.
That doesn't even define what a criminal is.
Yeah.
Like that means the crime must not be a crime. Like that's crazy. I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Like, it's crazy, but we definitely gotta push towards getting everything legalized. They putting a lot of pressure on Joe Biden right now. I think within the next 30 days, we should see an answer to the end of the federal ban on marijuana.
Yeah.
So quickly, like right before we end the podcast, quickly, on June 19, like there was a situation with you, like the car, like you at the gas station, you walking out, you see someone stealing the car or like taking the car, and you open fire or you started shooting on them, or was that the case?
No, that's not the case.
What was the case like?
I approached my vehicle and someone was breaking into my vehicle. I told them to step away from my vehicle numerous times. They refused to step away from my vehicle after they had already broke the entering into my vehicle. After refusing to step away from the vehicle, they began to go into their pockets and make it like they were going for a weapon.
So at that point, it's like you trying to...
At that point, I feared for my life, and we stood there for another 2 to 3 minutes with me pleading with this person to take his hands away from his pockets. I failed to get him to stop going for his pockets after 2 minutes, and then he made a ditching effort to dive into his pocket with his hand. After he had already broken an entering and was in the middle of a felony crime, and he saw that I was serious and about him moving away from the vehicle.
So how does that affect you? Does that have any effects like you?
What's crazy is this: I stayed on the scene, dialed 911, explained to the police what happened. This was around probably whatever time it happened. Hours later, now it's after 2 to 3 a.m., they take me to the investigation room and ask me to tell the story again, and it was a small difference in the way I said things. So they say that's the reason they used to arrest me.
That's crazy.
But whatever they're saying is like crazy because I definitely didn't tell them 360 degrees a different story, not even 180 degrees of a different story. Like, basically used the fact that I answered a question wrong and then corrected myself inside of the interview to arrest me.
That's crazy.
One slip up inside of an interview.
Over somebody breaking into your shit.
It's not about nobody breaking into a vehicle because I got insurance on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have broken into the vehicle, I would have been like, yes, I'm finna get a brand new one. I actually, if you break into my vehicle, like, and you stealing it, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm letting you drive off, and I'm getting right on the phone with the insurance company. It just happened.
Yeah.
So what was it
and
about?
I'm finna get a 2022 just because it just happened recently. So this was about you turning away from the vehicle and turning your attention on me and doing this.
So now at this point, it's about your life.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, stop, don't do it. And then you take a last-ditching effort to go into it. What?
Yeah.
The first thing the police tell you when they approach you is what? If you're doing this, take your hands away from your pocket. Sure. Okay, so how am I not supposed to feel like my life was in danger if you train officers that their life is in danger if somebody has their hands in their pocket? And they feel like their life is in danger even if they are inside of a stop with you and you haven't committed a felony. This person was in the middle of a felony crime. So I'm supposed to not feel like my life was in danger when the police feels like his life is in danger, when the situation may not even be as serious as mine. You gotta be crazy. We pulled this person's record up, convicted of attempted murder on his own father, tried to stab his father to death. Damn. And another person that was there.
And you was arrested because of that?
Because of that.
That's crazy.
The police, the detectives, they didn't investigate the scene to see, okay, we got a person on the scene in a Mercedes-Benz. We got a person that approached them. What could have happened? Could this person in the Mercedes been the aggressor, or could this been a carjacking, making this person fear for his life gone bad? Mm-hmm. The detective didn't detect. All he did was said, when he walked in the interrogation room and saw me, he said, hey, you got a song on the radio, right? Come on, let's go. And sat down, and started interviewing, and he already knew what he wanted to do. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation, and I'm standing tall to let everybody know that this is happening to people. And if this can happen to me, this can happen to anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm 100% confident in my lawyers that my name will be cleared 100,000%.
For sure.
We wish you none but.
Because you was doing the right thing.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. So now to change the topic real quick, light on the situation now. Can you sing? Can you sing or what?
Nah, man, I can't sing. I can't sing.
So I'm saying.
I do a little something.
Look, we seen a video now. We
Yeah.
seen a video where you said from your own mouth you can sing.
I did. I can sing better than. Oh, I can't sing, but I can sing better than Omarion.
Yeah.
I can sing better than Omarion. You ain't gotta be able to sing. Boy, what them dudes did on stage was crazy. What else you heard?
Let's
Focus
see.
on that real quick.
Bro, them niggas made millions of dollars. Omarion can't sing. What the hell? Oh God. Everybody believed this shit for years. Like, these boys made all this money and nobody can sing. Like, I didn't see nobody on stage last night. Them boys had me in my room trying to do all they moves and everything. I feel played, son. I feel played.
But you said you could sing.
You did.
I said I could sing better than them.
So what about the challenge? What about the usher?
I said they make me feel like I must be some kind of vocalist or something.
You said you were.
I said I must be some kind of vocalist. Cause that sounded so bad.
So now you gotta hit.
Yeah, you gotta do the usher challenge. What about the usher?
I'm a sound bad. You hear me? The thing about me, I'm not finna Omarion myself. I'm gonna keep it real. If I knew I couldn't sing like that, it ain't no way I would have got on stage for no verses, for no money, for no nothing. You can't pay me to make a fool of myself. Never. Ain't no money. Like, I ain't gonna sit there with a bag of money and look stupid.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't with it.
So you like with your ear to the music, you feel like you could really like put your hand on what it's supposed to sound like with singing, right?
Yeah. If I get in the studio like and I get in the room by myself, I can make way better vocals than they made at their verses.
Cause you ghostwrite for a lot of artists, correct?
Yeah. But you know, I don't like to speak on people's business like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime I did that, I kind of like signed confidentiality.
For sure.
For females especially.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just respect.
No, that's part of the industry too. For sure.
How do you feel about the industry right now?
I like it. I like everything that's happening right
Like
now.
where it's going, like with
It's
the
lit.
with the new music too. Cause you seen the transition for the music too.
But it's lit right now though. Like, I think what's more important for me is I'm a fan. I ain't waking up saying what these cats ain't doing right. Like, I'm actually bumping Sada Baby and I'm calling them like, hey, that's crazy, that's hard, I like that. I'm actually hitting 42 Doug up telling them, hey, that's hard, I like that, youngster. You know what I'm saying? And he like, appreciate that, you know. So it's like, what you gonna hate on them for? They don't hate on them for what? Like, man, I'm loving what they doing. These boys is going stupid.
That's part
I'm
of
a fan. I love music, bro.
Yeah.
adapting to the environment.
I ain't gotta adapt. I'm a fan of music. I think I just like music, period, bro. It's like, it ain't personal with me. I just love music, bro. Especially if it's something different.
So how was it like being signed to College Park and being signed? I think it was Soulja Boy, Ying Yang Twins was even signed on it. Like, how was that coming up?
It was interesting. It was different. Like, it was real different. I had to be like a team player. You feel me? Like, I was pretty much like the only child growing up. So, being with a label that got a few other artists, it was new to me. I'm used to having the attention on me. You feel me? Like, pay attention to what I'm saying. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that was kind of different. But College Park, that's somebody I'm still close with.
Okay.
Soulja Boy, we was cool. Like, I'm still cool with him. Like, everybody I was around, I ain't really got no, I can't name no enemies I made or no bad blood I got.
Yeah.
College Park showed love, like, gave me a lot of knowledge. That's somebody who showed me how to navigate through the industry and not get my feelings involved. A lot of people get their feelings involved with the industry, and, you know, you could play yourself out of a position real fast. You know, this is business. You got to kind of push your feelings to the side, kind of like, you know, suppress them and think about what's the best response business-wise, you know. He showed me that at an early age. That really helped.
Do you feel like some of them ethics you still hold with what you learned, you still use that to this day?
Yeah. And more importantly, if I feel like somebody was responsible for showing me a certain way, I try to keep them in my life, you know, in case I ever get strayed away, I can be pulled back to those ethics. Like,
so how you feel about like creative control as an artist?
you gotta have creative control. If you don't control your music, then you pretty much just a puppet. If I make the music, I gotta have creative control.
You gotta put your own sauce in it.
Yeah. Ain't nobody finna have creative control over me.
Yeah, I feel like because that definitely helps with the direction of the music. You know what I'm saying? That changes like the narrative of somebody's music if you don't have you know, creative control. Because you might be in the studio and it sounds like this, and then somebody like, nah, you gotta sound like this. And really, it's
You
like
ain't gonna be in the studio with me. My session's closed. Ain't no A&R in there with me.
Nah, for sure.
Can't
You
nobody
need your
come in
creative
with me.
space. You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
nobody. I almost want to kick the engineer out if I don't need it. I need to be in there myself because, like I told you, I might be trying to sing or something. You dig? You know, it's private.
for sure.
So what? So like, now we're about to end this. So one thing that you want to give to the audience which is watching. One thing, like one positive or like one thing that you wanna tell them, which will like a word of advice type situation. So what would that be?
Ask yourself what you want to do with your life. Write down a list of what it's gonna take to get there, and every day you wake up, focus on something on that list. If you ain't doing that, you're wasting your life.
And you heard that, man. That's how we're gonna end. Let's get your status up. You already know
man,
how we
make sure
coming,
y'all
man.
keep your
Man,
status
that's
up.
You feel me?
For sure, man.